Hi, my name is Dave Tim, and today we're going to be going over the installation of the Midwest Industries G2 Sub 2000 optic mount. This optic mount provides an option to add a red dot scope to your rifle, but still allow the compactness and the folding capability of the platform. We simply rotate the optic mount, fold the rifle, we can rotate the optic back into position for a nice, sleek, compact package. Installation of the optic mount is pretty straightforward. However, if any part of this video is overwhelming to you or you don't understand it, don't hesitate to seek the assistance of a qualified armorer or gunsmith to assist you. In order to install the optic mount, we will need the included hex key, or if you want to use a handle and driver system as shown, you can. Just be careful not to over-tighten. These small screws are for mounting the optic to the mount. Make sure you follow the manufacturer's directions of your optic when mounting to the mount. A small piece of paracord is included, and we will go over the use of that later. Medium strength thread locker for the M-lock screws only. Don't apply this thread locking compound to any other screws or anywhere else. You will also need a degreasing agent, such as denatured alcohol, to degrease the screws and hardware. Last, you will need an inch-pound driver capable of 40 inch-pounds to tighten the M-lock hardware. We will now put a list of all the required materials and tools on the screen. Feel free to pause the video if you would like to take notes. The first step when working on any firearm is to make sure our work surface is clear of any ammunition or magazines and verify that the firearm is unloaded. We can pull the charging handle to the rear and lock the bolt open. And now inspect the magwell, loading area, and chamber to verify that the firearm is unloaded. Begin by removing the M-lock hardware, which is the screw and T-nut from the mount. Repeat for both of the screws. We can now degrease the threaded portion of the T-nut and both of the screws. Repeat for all of the hardware. Allow the degreasing compound to completely evaporate from the hardware before installing the thread locker. Now we can apply a small amount of the provided thread locking compound on each of the screws. Again, do not apply this anywhere else. Now we can reassemble the hardware onto the mount. Do not completely tighten the screws onto the T-nut. Just a few turns will do. We need a gap between the mounting surface of the mount and the T-nuts as shown. We are now going to place the optic mount in the fourth slot from the muzzle on the firearm. And again, we're counting from the muzzle. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can install the optic mount on either side based on user preference. With the mount lightly seated, pull it down and forward to seat the hardware. We can now snug down both of the screws. And tighten each screw to 40 inch-pounds. We can now lift and pivot the mount 180 degrees that will allow us the opportunity to mount the optic onto the mount. It's important to note that when we mount the optic, it will actually be backwards because we have the mount rotated 180 degrees. Follow the manufacturer's directions for removing the factory Picatinny mount from the optic and the proper torque value to attach the optic onto the mount. Now that we have the optic mounted to the manufacturer's directions, we can pull the charging handle back to the rear and lock it if it is not done so already. Now we can take the small loop of provided paracord and go through the hole in the stock and tie it, making a small loop. The goal is to make a loop that connects from the stock to the charging handle, so in essence we want just a short loop. Don't make the loop overly large. What this paracord does is prevent the charging handle from going forward and hitting your optic once the rifle is folded. Once you have made your loop, we can now loop it around the charging handle and slowly ease the charging handle forward to stretch the loop. Don't allow the charging handle to slam against this. Now we can check to see if our loop is short enough by folding the rifle and rotating the optic mount into position. You can see here that I cannot rotate the mount into the complete position, so I have to make the loop shorter. That looks great. Now that we have secured the proper length of loop, we can go ahead and cut the paracord and melt the ends to prevent fraying. It is important to note to never try and remove the pivot bolt. That is the bolt that is located here. It is permanently attached, and by attempting to remove it, you could damage the mount, which would not be covered by warranty. Now we have completed installation of the G2 Sub 2000 optic mount. Now again, to fold the rifle, we pivot the optic 180 degrees, fold the rifle into the folded position, take your loop of paracord and place it around the charging handle, and now we can slowly ease the charging handle forward, and we can rotate the optic into the stored position. This gives you a small, sleek package and now the added function of a red dot to your rifle. We hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, you can contact the technical support staff at Midwest Industries or check the webpage for more information. Again, if you need any assistance, don't hesitate to seek the guidance of a gunsmith or armorer to assist you. Thank you very much for watching and have a great day.